Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Gloria Lee. I remember I was telling you guys I wanted to do a story time on about how I became an author. Okay, let's get started. How I became an author was I was in my early 20s. I had wrote out a manuscript on my life. I haven't yet published that book about my life, only because I have some things in there that I know that people will be very upset with me, be mad with me, probably hate me, probably wouldn't even want me to be in their lives. Okay. I haven't published that book because that book is truly based upon my life, of what I've been through in my life past time. So that book haven't been published yet, but I have published, I have published a book called Thoughts from the Pure Heart. This book was published back in, this is the book. It's called Thoughts from a Pure Heart. Listen to her wisdom, random thoughts and sayings of Gloria Lee Hinton. Yep, that is my government name, Gloria Lee Hinton. So let me tell y'all, let me relax because I'm getting ready to tell y'all about this story here, about how I became this author. Okay, now y'all know as authors, when you create a manuscript, only thing you see is a dream. Writing out a book, it's a dream. It's something that you always want. It's something that you crave for. It's something that you want the world to know about you as a person. Okay, so let me tell you the story on how the devil crept in and destroyed my dream. God has given me this book, you know. He has given me the ability to think about things and write down of what I'm thinking. Okay, I am a portrait. I love to write poetry. I haven't did any unspoken words yet, but I would love to do one. Everything that's in this book right here is basically about my thoughts of what I've been through from past life, from back in the days to my past life. What I'm talking about, of what I've been through in the past, what I see my friends gone through, my children, things happening at work, women, men, you know, galore of things. I love to observe things, people. I love to observe the environment, everything. So whatever comes to my mind, boom, 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 I like to write it down. Sometimes I go in critical thinking. When I post up the word quiet mode, all my friends and family already know she's thinking about something. When I post up quiet mode on Facebook, on my social media, Facebook fan page, automatically my friends, family, and followers and fans know off top she's thinking about something. So everything I think about randomly, I put it on paper. Okay, it sometimes could be heartfelt, sometimes it could be deep, sometimes it could be like mouth dropping. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how the devil played a part in this. Okay, I met this young lady. I don't know how I met this young lady. When I first met her, you know, we talked on the phone. She was kind-hearted, sweet. She was an evangelist of her church, you know, doing good things for God and, you know, everything else. So I trusted her. Okay, so this young lady I hired to handle all my business affairs for BGWR Inc. Incorporated. That's my nonprofit organization. So I hired this young lady to do all my business preferences. Okay, so it got down to the point where I was paying her to handle my affairs, my business affairs, which I didn't mind, you know, because at the time I had so much on my plate. At the time I was a full-time employee, you know. Right now I work for myself, but when I say work for myself, I work for my own organization right now. I'm taking a break to God really actually truly bring me off, you know, my job. Truly brings me off of working full time, you know, underneath somebody else. But right now, I'm taking it easy, working on my own business, because you never supposed to lose focus off what God has for you. You work towards what God give you a vision for. So I'm still on that. Okay, so this young lady, I began to pay her, you know, everything to handle all my business affairs and everything. So bam, she came and told me, you know, I was talking to her about my book and everything. I was like, you know, I'm writing a book and so on and so forth. And, you know, we began to talk. And just to remind you guys that I do have 3 other books that's coming out to be published. I'm working on it right now. I'm getting ready to starting tomorrow to start finish increasing on my manuscript by continuing to write on them. It's 3 books. One is titled Living Out Broken Pieces, which is a spiritual book. The second book is Thoughts from a Pure Heart Edition Part 2. I'm going to have 5 editions of this book because I think a lot. Okay, so the third book is called Are You That Woman? I had to pause on that one. That last book, Are You That Woman, is very powerful. Very powerful. That book, each and every woman going to want to purchase that book. That book shows and tells about which type of woman are you, or what type of woman you have come in contact with. You got Jezebel spirits. You got women that are controlling. You got women that want to set the bar. You got women that are selfish. You got women that have childlike minds. You got women that wants attention. All these kind of women that I have came across. Okay, from a child and up, God has showed me so much things about women and about myself that He has revealed to me to write this stuff out. He showed me how it started. He gave me the format of how to type it up on Microsoft Word, everything. This book is so powerful. I can't wait to have this book published, because after you read this book, every woman eyes going to come open to each individual woman. You're going to see and know what type of woman that you are against, who's in your circle, who to add in your circle, and who to let go of your circle. Because everybody you think that are your friends and for you, women that always say you have a pretty hairdo or a nice face, a nice outfit, they are all haters. Everybody puts on the mask. So that book is going to be very powerful. But anyway, let me get back onto the subject about this young lady. So we began to talk about books. So she began to tell me that she has a publishing company. And I'm like, really? You never mentioned that when I first met you. You know, you were telling me that you were a secretary of helping everybody and helping business owners and everything. But you never tell me that. So me knowing her for 2.5 years, I trusted this young lady. I even knew this young lady background, far as not background like what she is and who she does, but I began to know of her. Like she told me that she was staying in a hotel. Her and her husband was staying in a hotel. They didn't have no transportation. They ended up gaining transportation, you know. So she's an evangelist of her church, and you know, she do a lot of good deeds for, you know, her church family and, you know, for the community. Okay, so I began to trust this young lady, so I gave her my manuscript. So she typed everything up. She published it and everything. But before she published it, I let her know how I wanted my book, everything. She did the format. She showed me. She took the pictures off my Facebook, also my social media pages. She took each words off my social media pages and added inside the book to create a full book. Okay, so here comes the part. Okay, so when we get down to it, She showed me everything, the book cover and everything. So everything was legit. I was like, okay, I gave her a thumbs up. I was excited. You know, me being a first-time author, you get excited because you want everybody to see you. You want everybody to notice you. You want everybody to know who you are behind the book. You want everybody to know who is this new author. Okay, so she created her a publishing page, website, everything. She talked about me. She marketed my book. She marketed everything about me. Okay, so after that, so she was like, okay, here come the big books. Never did she send me a copy to go over it, to look over nothing. You know, which is my fault, but I didn't know at the time because this is my first time being a first-time author. So anyway, she told me this kind of what got me. Okay, this kind of what have got me. She told me, okay, she gave me the total price of how much everything gonna cost. So I almost gave this lady almost $3,000 for my book. Okay, so in the midst of me, she had me to Western Union her the money. Okay, let me tell y'all how God intervened before I sent the money off. As I began to send this money off, a young man came to me, the one that was handling my money and the Western Union paper to transfer the money over. He looked at me dead in my eyes, which I know it was God. I knew it was God. But me being impatient, me having anxiety, me being excited, me being routed up, I'm like, I didn't want to hear what the young man had to say, which I knew was God. I want to help him get this book out so I can get out there, make the money, you know, and everything else. But I didn't listen to the words of God. God knew that that this was going to happen, and everything was going to mess up for me. God knew this, but I overlooked what God said. I had to go back and repent, you know, because it didn't go right like I thought it was. So the young man looked at me in my eyes and said, "Ma'am, do you sure? I want to let you know right now, are you sure that you want to send this kind of money to this person?" And he looked at me like he was puzzled, like, why are you sending this kind of money? It's too much. Like, ma'am, do you know what you're doing? So I sat and I sat. I stood and I stood. And I was just thinking. Automatically, it popped in my mind. God is speaking to your heart right now. Do you really think that you want to send this money to this young lady? So at the time, I'm like, yeah, go ahead and send it to her. Because, like I said, I had anxiety to help and get it out there. I was excited. I was up there. You know, my mind was up there. I was up there ready to make this money. All I could think about is my kids, me having this, me having that. They have my kids, get out this hole, you know, everything. So I sent the money. And y'all, let me tell y'all something. When I sent the money, I looked on this young lady's Facebook page. We were Facebook friends, okay? This young lady went and got her hair did. I ain't gonna say done, but she got it did. She even posted up with her getting her hair done. She posted up with her getting her nails done, her feet done, everything. I'm like, okay. So in the back of my life. So I received a box, and inside that box were my books that she published. I was very disappointed when I opened up the box, only because it wasn't the way I wanted. My books was paperback. My books were paperback. That wasn't hardback. And not only that, I only received 8 books. I was furious with her. I was so upset with her, and I asked her what happened. She said, well, I get, as publishers, with the publishing company, you can only get a few certain amounts. So I did my research. I called all the publishers. And they said, no, it ain't supposed to go like that. And you spent too much money. The average book to be published, they said, Each one of them, all three publishing companies told me the average of publishing a book is at least $400. $400 to have a book published. $300 to $400 is the less to have a book published. And they said I'm supposed to have over 50 copies. So I told her that. And she said, well, we could only do 8. Okay, so I left it alone. You know, but me being so still excited about this book. Okay, so I scheduled to have a book signing night. So people came out, they showed their love, they stayed, they ate, they drank, you know, sipping on fruit juice and eating cake and, you know, everything else. And they, you know, took pictures with me on the backdrop and everything else, you know, I had signed their books and everything. They came to support me, showing love, because they were proud of me. They were so glad that I did what I did. You know, they were proud of my accomplishment and my success. Okay, one client came back and told me, Gloria, have you took the time out to actually go over and look at your book? And I'm like, looking at him like, no, why? What's wrong? They said, girl, go look at it. Whomever published your book, you need to get your money back. And I'm like, why are they saying that? Mind y'all that she never gave me a copy to look over. So I began to go home after the book signing and everything was over. I began to go home and I looked over that book. Oh my God. That book was towed up to the floor up. My dream was crashed. To this day, I still owe people back money from purchasing this book. This book is now under construction. I now have a new publisher that's getting ready to publish this book the right way and the way it's supposed to be published. But it's my fault, y'all. It's not the young lady's fault. It's my fault. You know why it's my fault? Because I didn't hearken unto the Spirit of God. When God let me know, stop right there. When I went to go transfer this money over to this young lady for me to stop at my tracks and don't go further. Don't go no further. And I didn't. I went beyond the voice of the Lord. Being disobedient causes you a hardship. It will cause you a hardship. So I began to call this young lady. I told her about my book. So she began to play the victim. She began to get upset and everything. You know, at the time, you know, not only that I was helping this young lady, but I was also giving this young lady money as well, because she needed it. And you know, me being a woman of God, I helped the young lady. You know, I gave her money, you know, from the necessary of my heart, you know, because I felt like she needed it. But I don't know what she was going through. But anyway, not only I was paying her to handle my business affair, but giving her extra money on the side, and plus gave her almost $3,000. But she was still hollering about she didn't have. Anyway, guys, back to the book. I just had to get out. I got off subject. I know I got off subject by talking about the book, but back to the book. Anyway, so she tried to play the victim that I was wrong, she was right, and she tried to make a big scene like that I was wrong. I'm the victim here. You took my money. You took my hard-earned money, and you went shopping with it and blew it all to proportion. And you gave me 8 books out of everything. I was hot, y'all. I was hot. And then on top of that, not only you gave me 8 books, but it wasn't hardback, it was paperback. And it was, the words was, y'all, let me tell y'all, the words had typos in them. The sentence was run on. Some of the words didn't make sense. It wasn't even what I said. Some of them wasn't even what I said. And then some of the words was what I said, but it wasn't connected. So I'm like, oh my God. So The book was terrible, but right now it is under construction. I just can't wait to get other books out. But I just want to say to all of you authors out there that are watching my vlog, it is important when you publish a book to acknowledge God in all your ways on who to contact to publish your book. If you don't do that, you will end up like I was, being a victim of somebody scamming me and taking my money. This young lady wasn't a publisher. She didn't have a publishing company. She told me she had a publishing company. She made me thought that she had a publishing company, but she did not. That was something that she added under her belt while working with me. Okay, so we began to do this book over and over again. We have actually went through this book about three times. I took the book, I highlighted things, I scratched things out, I put the right words in everything, and sent it back to her. Okay, she sent it back, the book back to. We kept doing it on and on. We was even on the phone talking to each other, going page by page by page, putting out, Xing out, everything else. She returned the book to me for the very last time. For the very last time, she took that copy and mailed it to me. For the very last time, and it still wasn't right. It still wasn't right. So I told this young lady, I tried to contact her again to go over the book again and start all over. This young lady blocked me off Facebook. She unfriended me off social media, Facebook, social media. And then on top of that, she blocked me. But she still have her publishing business page up, advertising all the work she have done, all the work she have done for others. Y'all, let me tell you something. I'm going to pray for this young lady. I don't know where she is right now, but I'm going to pray for her, because the simple fact, she would not have any good, prosper things in life because of how she done me and how she did others. I know good and well, if she did me like she did other people the same way. She's not going to get far until she owe people and pay people back what she took and stolen from them. This young lady did not want to give me back no dime of what I gave her. I wasn't expecting her to give me no dime. I expecting her to fix my book. But anyway, more to the story, guys. This is my story time of telling y'all about how I became an author. Okay, that's how I became an author. More to the story is, please be careful. Be extra careful of who you have to publish your dream. This is a dream. This is a vision. This is something that you love to do. This is something that will cause you to create extra income in your house. The devil had stole and killed mine. So right now this book right here is under construction of being published, rewritten, and published by a new company. And trust and believe me, I did my homework. I did my research on these publishers and made sure they're a legit company. Who else they have published, how many books they published, who are the authors. I mean, I did it all. I did it all because I'm going to make sure that this do not happen to me again. Never again. Never again. So guys, I was going to say something. I can't remember what I was going to say. But I do have a poetry page on social media, on Facebook. So I am going to link that social media page on Facebook. Y'all check me out. Link onto the page. Like the page. Share the posts. Share the statuses. And everything else. And I pray that you enjoy it. enjoy the statuses, enjoy the quotes, and everything else. But excuse me, mouth getting dry, y'all. I've been talking too much. Well, anyway, this is my story time that I want to share with you guys about the book. Okay, so coming next week or this weekend, I'll be putting up a tutorial on facial and hair. Okay, with the water. I have created my own rice water, so I'm excited to try that because I am so ready for my hair to grow. Like I was telling my kids and telling my daughters, once my hair start growing, I don't want no braids, I don't want nothing. I just want to wear my natural hair. I will be looking at tutorials on how to create natural style hair. So I don't know why I keep jumping off subjects, y'all, but anyway, back to the book. So the moral to the story is, guys, all of you authors out there, the moral to the story, authors, is this: be careful whom you allow to publish your blessing. Because guess what? Everybody is not in sheep clothing. Everybody out here to get your hard-earned money and scam you out of your money. So just look at it as that, like, everybody is not sheep. You get what I'm saying, authors? Everybody that you know, give your books, your manuscript to, that is your life. That is your dream. So just look at it as that, like, everybody is not clothed in sheep clothing. But instead, you have ran into the big bad wolf. Alright, guys, thank y'all for tuning into my channel. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for subscribing. Thank